Hey, what's up, App Mafias? Welcome back to the commute. My name is Deshkuli, and in this video, we're going to talk about function overloading in Kotlin. Previously, we have explored functions in Kotlin. Let me make a simple example of a function here. So here's a simple function. Result, it takes in account of type of int and multiplies it by 2 and actually returns the integer back. And we can actually print it right here, as you can see. If we scroll in, we can see here we got ourselves 6 and we have given 3, so 3 times 2 is of course 6. It's a simple, very simple result function. Now what happens is we cannot make multiple variables of the same name in any language. The compiler will start to give errors, but there's no such restrictions for the naming of functions. What if there are two different functions with the same name? So how does the compiler actually know which function to actually use? This happens with the help of function overloading. Function overloading means that functions with the same name but with different parameters or different types of parameters. Let me give you an example of function overloading and we will look into that. As you can see, this is a very simple function called result. Again, we have two functions with the same name called result. So how does the compiler actually know that we are actually using the first one, not the second one? Now what happens here is that we have different parameters in our constructors. As you can see, we have count of int here, and we have count int and multiply int. The different number of parameters actually suggests that the compiler will be using the one that is most likely to fill this type of constructor. As you can see, we are only passing 3 here. So compiler actually sees this and only uses this result function. What if we were using another function with the same name, but instead of passing int, we'll pass a string here. As you can see, this is a function with the same name and it takes in count, but it's of type string and it returns a string type. Now, if I say that, as you can see, we are passing an int here. So the compiler actually knows that it only needs one variable in the constructor and it is of type int. That's why it chooses this one instead of these two. So if we make this a string, what will the compiler choose? As you can see, it results in this one, the second usage. It doesn't multiply it by 2. It just returns whatever the count was. It is actually able to identify which function we are trying, as a developer, we are trying to access. Let me change this to count to maybe 3 and give another variable here, and as you can see, it automatically takes in count and a multiplier. The compiler actually knows which result function we are trying to target. Now this is called function overloading. I hope this makes function overloading very clear to you guys. Previously we have looked at overloading. We will try to assign a function to a variable. That will be interesting to do. Let us quickly make a very simple variable here where re of type of. Now in order to assign a function, we have to declare what the variable type will be. If we say int here and the result should be type of int, which means the return type should be of type int, and we assign result, the function here, as you can see, the function is assigned to the variable re. And if we just say re println re and we pass in 2, what will it execute? It says 2 times 2, which gives us 4. It is executing the result function. Now how does it do that? We have identified re as this type of function. It means that of type int and it results in int. The return type of this function will be int and it will be taking int in its constructor. That's the type of this variable. That's how the variable is able to actually multiply the 2 with the 2 here and result in 4. Let's try to change the variable type here and let's see what happens. Let's make it string. Okay. And let's make this again string. Now what happens here is it's expecting something called string. Let's make it string here. Now what happens is that it will print 2. It is resulting in this second function. Let's try to change that and say that we are expecting int and a string, and it will start to give me error here because there's no such function with string in its constructor and giving a string out. There's no such function right here. We need an int here, and it will realize that this is the function that we are actually talking about. Let's try to remove that and give it 2 comma 2 here, and it gives us 4. Let's try to give it a different multiplier as 4 here, and let's see what it gives us. It gives us 8. As you can see, this is function overloading in Kotlin with assigning a function to a variable. This is something interesting. I hope this makes function overloading with assigning a function to a variable clear to you guys. And this is it for now.